personally I wasn't quite sure if this one was made by or made for a 5-year-old. Hey guys, my name is G.P.S. and welcome back. Over a month ago at this point, I posted a shopping vlog in which we went shopping at Chanel together, and I had pretty slim pickings of pieces in my size, so pretty much everything that I was interested in had to be ordered in, and even though it took a while, finally yesterday I had a chance to stop by the store and try everything on and see what worked, what didn't, what would and what wouldn't. Spoiler, not much of it did. But if you want to unbox my new Chanel goodies with me and also have a peek at a handful of new pieces that have come in since I was at the store, then please be sure to give this video a thumbs up and keep on watching. From my last vlog, you may remember that there were 2 pieces that had to be ordered in for me, a blazer and a pair of shoes, and then there were 2 other things that I was contemplating picking up from the current collection. And actually, let's start with the blazer because I feel like that is going to be a quicker one. So there was a black jacket that I was extremely interested in from the new Spring Summer 21 collection. I have been on the hunt for the perfect black tweed jacket from Chanel for years at this point, and I finally thought that I found the right one. There was a blazer that also had almost a coat-like version of it, and I was definitely much more interested in the blazer itself. So when I had a chance to stop by the store last time, they only had the blazer in a really small size, so they had to order a larger size for me. They told me it was pretty smooth sailing transferring the blazer in. It came in within about a week or so. But the reason why I couldn't go to have a look at it immediately is because the person I work with at Chanel had a pretty good chunk of April off, and her first appointment available was yesterday. But by the time I got to the store yesterday, the blazer was nowhere to be found. They didn't know where it had gone. They said that it might have been transferred out or it might have been sold to someone else by accident. Long story short, the blazer wasn't there, so they ended up giving me a larger size in the coat version, which is the exact same shape and idea as the blazer itself, but it's a little bit longer and it's slightly different. But they told me that if the coat fits, at least they have an understanding of what size they should get in the blazer for me again. And so I tried on the coat, and I'm not kidding you, it was quite hilarious. Basically, the sleeve came up around this high on me, so there would have not even been enough fabric in the entire coat to create a sleeve long enough for the jacket to work for me. The shoulders were way too tight, the armhole I could barely put my arm through. So in the end, I wasn't too upset that the blazer wasn't there in the end because I knew that it would have not fit. So that's what happened to the jacket. It was absolutely stunning and I love the idea of this new really simple tweed blazer. But keep in mind that if that's something that you'd be interested in, it is extremely cropped and tight as pretty much everything else in the collection this season. But thankfully, while I was in the store, they presented to me the blazer that I picked up recently from Vestiaire Collective, which I ended up dropping off last time I was in the boutique to get it tailored because it was slightly too large for me and there were a couple of things that had to be tweaked. And I also wanted to get it kind of authenticated, and because it is a ready-to-wear piece, the only way for you to make sure that the piece that you bought is authentic is to have someone from Chanel look at it. And even though they will never tell you if it's authentic or not, but if it gets repaired or if they do something to it and they're willing to work on it, that kind of implies that it is an authentic piece. And I'm perfectly happy with this sort of stamp of approval that they were able to and willing to work on this. And they were kind enough to pack it up for me beautifully, which I'm honestly not mad about because it did cost me quite a bit of money to get this tailored. They told me from the beginning that there might be a small charge associated with getting this tailored, considering that I didn't get this from the boutique. And when I first heard that, I really thought that it was going to be more of a symbolic amount. And even though I shouldn't exaggerate that it was a crazy amount that I had to pay to get this tailored, which I will tell you about, I saved the receipt so I can share with you the price of this and then also the other piece that I picked up. It wasn't something ridiculous, but at the same time, it was still quite a bit of money to get something tailored, but I shouldn't complain because it wasn't the end of the world, especially considering that it was done at Chanel and they packaged it up for me so beautifully. So let's go ahead and unbox this together. It has the little bow on the back. Let's go ahead and
unwrap this.
And they were kind enough to give me one of their Chanel garment bags. So I have a brand new Chanel garment bag for this new blazer. And I think they might have also given me a Chanel hanger. Let's just see. So it opens up like this. And this is how my Vestiaire Collective blazer came out. I'll definitely put it on just so you guys can see what it looks like now. There were a handful of things that I would have liked them to tweak on this. The main thing for me was the shoulders. The shoulders were slightly too wide for me. I wanted to have them taken in just a tiny bit so it's a little bit more flattering. And alongside with that, I wanted the sleeves to be pulled up, and I have to say they did an incredible job. And then one more thing that I was contemplating getting done is getting the jacket slightly hemmed. This is obviously an older style. I'm not sure if you would consider this vintage. This, I believe, was made in 2008, so it's definitely an older style. For me, it was just slightly too long. I felt that having it hemmed or taken up just a tiny bit would have made it look a lot more streamlined and modern. And when we were looking at this with the tailor and the person I work with at Chanel, they were not sure if it would look good, if it would take away from the silhouette of the jacket, especially because it has quite low-hanging pockets on the side. But I knew that it was something that would make a huge difference, so I ended up convincing them to help me with that. And when yesterday I tried this on in the store, even the person I work with at Chanel, when she saw this on me, she was like, "You were so right to get it hemmed. It has made the biggest difference." It just looks more modern at the end of the day, that now it's a little bit shorter, it's not so long on me. So I am extremely happy with how this turned out. And I have been contemplating adding a brooch onto this. I told you guys in my previous video that I'm on the hunt for the perfect brooch to put on this jacket, because it is quite a simple design at the end of the day. And so many of you guys were kind enough to send me links and recommendations, all of which I'm so grateful for. And I had a look at every single one of them. Every time I'm on the Chanel website, and even last time I was at Chanel, I had a really good browse at everything that they have to offer, but I haven't found the perfect brooch for me. And I think it's just because I'm not really into Chanel brooches and the idea of them in general. I find that a lot of them are quite sparkly and are covered in pearls and crystals, which are definitely not my aesthetic. And then the rest are just basic CCs, and I'm not really into either idea. So what I am thinking about doing is at one point adding some sort of, perhaps a fine jewelry brooch onto this, something that is made of precious metals or maybe even precious stones. I think that might be a little bit more unique. I don't think that's going to be today or tomorrow. It's going to be whenever I found the perfect brooch to go with this. But in the meantime, I'm still going to enjoy this. Even though it doesn't have too many decorative pieces, the fabric itself and the structure, I think, speaks for itself. And I'm actually quite glad about that, because there are obviously more than one way of spicing up staple timeless classic pieces in your collection. And when it came to other pieces that I looked at Chanel, obviously I wanted to see their t-shirt that was on the Spring Summer 21 runway that they did have yesterday. But it was only in the exact same sleeveless style that they had the last time I was there. Everything was pretty much pink, so if pink is your color, this will be your season to shine. Everything was pink, and there was a lot of sort of cotton candy shades, which I think were beautiful and adorable, but definitely not my aesthetic. There was a beautiful cropped blazer in a divine pink tweed. There were a couple of shirts and blouses that were beautiful. And then when it came to bags, top handle bags seem to be the thing by Chanel. I saw two top handle bags, both in white and black. And surprisingly, I've never seen this particular style before. It was a little bit more rounded than the classic Chanel top handle bags. So in case you like a top handle bag, these might be something that you are interested in. And then there were also two bucket bags on display that I felt would have been quite cool for the summer. There was one made of canvas with little pearl details, which kind of reminded me of the DeVille collection by Chanel. it looked a little bit cheap because of the pearls in my opinion, but the other one had these beautiful chain, almost sort of bucket details on it that was just perfection for the summer. There was a beautiful classic flap made of canvas that had these double C's all over it with this really interesting metallic detail. You would think that having double C's all over your bag is kind of cheap looking, but because they were made of metal and they were all different sizes and shades, it actually looked pretty cool. And as far as I can remember, there was also a wallet on chain version of it. And then of course they had to show me the new exceptional piece that came in. Last time I was in the store, they showed me one that's made of metal, which was this incredible cage design. If anything, just go back and watch my last video just for that one piece. It's definitely worth it. And they were kind enough to show me their latest exquisite piece, which this time was a classic double flap made of tweed with these weird looking plastic / PVC flowers glued all over the bag. And I would love to hear in the comment section how much you think this bag is. Please pause me right now or just scroll down and just leave me a number in the comment section. I would genuinely love to know how much you guys think this bag would cost if you just saw it walking down the street, because personally I wasn't quite sure if this one was made by or made for a 5-year-old. That's just the idea and the concept that I got as soon as I looked at this. Well, I was terribly wrong because this bag is nearly 11,000 euros. So if you have 11,000 euros to spend at Chanel, please save a little bit more money and buy yourself the metal cage flap bag, which is a true showstopper. Whereas this one looks more like your 5-year-old got to your beautiful Chanel bag and the glue in the cupboard. And they glued their $2 Claire's hair clips all over it. And at this point you have no choice but to carry it as a statement piece, but not a good one. Thankfully the other piece that was ordered for me was still there yesterday when I went to the store. And it's something that I have been in desperate need of, because even though I have a few of these, I have worn every single one of them to bits. So I'm really glad to have a fresh pair in my collection. And it is a pair of sneakers from Chanel, which I've said this before and I have to say it again, but Chanel sneakers are hands down just the best. No other designer shoes come even close to Chanel sneakers in terms of comfort, the way they look, how flattering they are. So yes, Chanel is not my favorite nowadays, but I always go back to their sneakers because they are just unmatched. So let's go ahead and unbox this together. I tried this on yesterday and I have not opened it ever since. So of course it came in the beautiful bag. So here are the new shoes. Of course, the beautiful box and the ribbon again. Let's open this up and get these on my feet. I'll probably start wearing them as soon as I take these out of the box because I have been in desperate need of these. Although it's pouring rain outside, so might not be the best idea. But let's go ahead and open it. So it came in the beautiful Chanel box. We have, let's hope, 2 dust bags. I hate when they give you 1 dust bag with shoes. You need 2 dust bags for shoes, especially for shoes in this color. So we have 2 shoes. We have, what's in here? Like a little, I guess, care card. And then a fresh pair of laces. And then the newest pair of Chanel sneakers that are being added to my collection are these incredible leather sneakers, which I'm not quite sure if they have a name. It seems like all Chanel sneakers are just called Chanel sneakers. But if I can find the name or the number, I'll make sure to link it down below in the info box. But these are basically the shoes, and this is a style that Chanel always does. I even have a pair of these sneakers in canvas that were part of the Pharrell collaboration. So they are the exact same style as these, so I knew that they're going to fit and they're going to be flattering. So the main difference obviously is the fact that they are made of canvas, and then the Pharrell ones have hand-painted details and embroidery all over them. But the fit and the shape should be identical, and I do think that they are. And I absolutely love these sneakers. They are incredibly comfortable. They are ridiculously flattering. They are so easy to be dressed up or dressed down. There is something about the shape that is quite old school. It almost reminds me of bowling shoes, which gives them this sort of preppy look. But at the end of the day, they are still sneakers, which makes them quite casual. So I just absolutely love these. The details are beautiful. So you have the double C on the back on this little flap, which you can actually turn up if you want to, if you don't want to show that off. And it still looks great with that little black detail. But you can also have it turned down and then you show off the double C, especially when you have your feet in here. This gets really pushed to the back, so you have the double C showing there. You have a little Chanel logo on the side, and then of course the Chanel laces, which I'm pretty sure that the laces they give you are just plain white. So if you don't want to show off all the Chanel logos here, you can just swap to the plain white ones. And this is it. These are my brand new sneakers, which I'm so excited to have and start using. If you are trying to find a gateway into Chanel and you don't know where to start, I'm telling you, sneakers are the way to go, especially if you're looking for something that can be dressed up or dressed down. I don't think that you'd be disappointed in these ones. And that's pretty much it. This is everything that I picked up. I picked up the sneakers and then I was also able to pick up the jacket. And I promised prices, so let me pull out the receipt and share prices with you, because I got a couple of questions in my last Hermes haul video about prices, which when I do a larger haul video, I'm not going to share prices, but when it comes to pieces like this, I'm more than happy to. And if you're ever interested in prices, just drop me an email and I can always let you know that way. So I saved the receipt, which came in the beautiful camellia envelope, and the shoes. So the shoes were 720 euros for these, which I think is really fairly priced for a pair of designer sneakers. And then getting the blazer fitted was 120 euros. So basically getting the shoulders taken in, the sleeves taken up a tiny bit, and then getting the bottom of the blazer hemmed was 120. But that is pretty much it. This completes today's little Chanel unboxing. I hope you guys enjoyed this. And please let me know if there are any pieces on your Chanel wishlist, maybe from the current collection or perhaps from the Métier d'Art collection, which should be hitting stores pretty soon. I was told at the end of May or beginning of June, we should start seeing new pieces, which I am pretty excited for. So let me know if there are any pieces that are currently on your wish list, or if there's anything that you would recommend that I check out. And if you enjoyed this video, then please be sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you being here and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.